Hey everyone, welcome to the very first episode of Life Trek, a space where we explore different aspects of life, one conversation at a time. I'm Namrita.
I'm Madhumita.
And I'm Sangeeta. It's been more than 3 decades. We are still friends. We love talking everything under the sun. And we are so excited to be here talking about things that relates to everyone.
And what better way to start this Life Trek chat show than with something that brought us together in the first place? Friendship.
Yes. Today we are diving deep into the world of friendship. What makes it special, why some friends last a lifetime, how to keep them strong, and also how to lose friends you don't like.
And stick around because later in the show, we have a special guest from totally different sphere joining us to share take on friendship plus a rapid fire round that's going to be really lot of fun.
Right.
So let's start this discussion with a simple but a deep question, girls. What does friendship mean to you?
Well, friendship to me is all about trust and authenticity. It's about having people in your life who see the real you with all the gray shades and still choose to stand by your side. It's about knowing that no matter what, someone's got your back.
Absolutely. I think I would also add that maybe friendship is also about shared laughter and unforgettable moments like we've had. It's also about finding those people who make even the most tragic days a little bit more fun. And it is about having someone who knows all your inside jokes, all your favorite movies, your books, food, and everything, and exactly what to say when you're feeling down.
Right, right. Very true.
Yeah, जो हंसा भी दे रुला भी दे जो हरकतों से मूड ऑफ करा दे जो
वाह
सच
वाह
बता दे
वाह।
मजाक भी उड़ा दे लेकिन प्यार से
क्या
सीक्रेट
बात है।
छुपा भी दे पर्दाफाश भी कर दे सिचुएशन से बाहर निकाल दे इमोशनल कंफर्ट दे दे वही है फ्रेंड
वाह।
इट्स अ वेरी स्ट्रांग बॉन्ड yet very fragile the real ones they just do not celebrate your wins they walk with you through all your struggles too. Now tell me, girls, what's the most random way you met a friend?
Well, actually, I met her through you, Madhu. And then I noticed some really hilarious quotes by her on coffee on her WhatsApp status. And then she started noticing my funny takes on life on my WhatsApp status. And that's how we have become good friends because of our witty side. Almost every day we share a laugh.
And imagine till last night, I did not even know who this friend was. One of my closest friends today, Sangeeta, is someone who dozed off in office when I was explaining something to him. And we met at work. He hated the work I was doing. I hated his work ethic. But over time, it's been 24 years. We've overcome that mutual dislike of each other and we become very close friends. When my dad passed away, he was the first, and the first birthday after my dad passed away, he was the first guy who came home with a cake, with my favorite cake, and waited for me to celebrate.
That's nice.
Yeah, actually, yeah. All my friends walked into my life in a very natural way, either through my studies or workplace. Way back, I got a call from someone who wanted to clarify her maths and physics doubts. The calls became more frequent. We met personally after almost 2 years and did further studies together. And yeah, we are friends till now.
See, that's the thing about friendship, it happens in the most unexpected ways. And on the same theme, have you ever noticed how different personalities bring different dynamics to a friendship? Like the introvert extrovert friendship or the planner friend versus the spontaneous one?
Absolutely. I think opposites attract in friendships too.
Right.
And I feel
Yeah.
sometimes differences actually make a friendship stronger.
Okay, then first let's talk about the classic introvert extrovert friendship. I feel like we've seen this all the time. We see this. One friend is super outgoing, always making plans, while the other prefers to stay at home, just read a book, or even just listen to music.
I have an introvert friend who confides a lot in me. We enjoy spending time with each other a lot. Our natures are poles apart. I especially remember the Sundays we spent together. In the morning, we'll spend some 2 to 3 hours in the morning for our spiritual journey, and suddenly, after an hour, both would be in a movie theater watching back-to-back movies.
Wow.
So somewhere I feel friends to influence each other knowingly or unknowingly. All right. So
That's
how
fun.
about the planner versus the spontaneous friend? This is a common dynamic,
Yeah, yeah, it's a
Madhu.
very common dynamic, and you both know it, right? You remember how I used to be the always spontaneous friend, and I would just call up people and be like, "Let's meet for coffee, let's meet for lunch, let's go for a movie, let's go shopping."
Right.
And you both have been the victims of that spontaneity for a long time. And but today I've transformed into this planner person who needs everything planned out properly. I mean, preferably weeks in advance. I mean, don't call me for an impromptu lunch or coffee. I'll not be there.
But honestly, having a spontaneous friend is fun too. They push you to do things that you would never think of doing otherwise, right?
I
Okay,
didn't know
so
that.
Right.
yeah. So now let's talk about the cheerleaders versus the realists. Do you think it's better to have a friend who hypes you up no matter what, or one who gives you, brutal honesty?
I love my high friends who make me feel like a movie star, even when I'm very badly dressed also. But if you if you are about to make a very terrible decision, you need a realist friend. Uh, I mean, to show you the actual truth. And friends should sometimes show you the dark side of life too, but it is the way they show it. So you accept the truth easily.
Right. Very true.
Some people are very emotional in a friendship, while others are more logical and practical. So, what type are you now?
I think I lean more on the logical side. I try to solve problems rather than just talk about them.
Yeah, that's why I call you every time I have a problem, Namrata. But
True.
I'm 100% the emotional friend. You both know that. If my friend is upset, I'll be upset with them. Your enemy is my enemy, no questions asked, ever.
See, that's where things can clash. Sometimes emotional people they just want to vent out, and logical people immediately start giving solutions. They start giving you solutions instead of just listening.
Right.
So I would any day prefer a listener friend because everybody finds their own solution when you just lend them an ear.
Right. Okay, so now here's a deep one. Do you think all friendships are meant to last, or is it okay for some to just be seasonal?
Some friendships are there to teach us something or to be part of a certain phase in our life because of common interest, career, common surrounding.
Mm.
And once that is gone, they're out of our life. And I think that's okay. We all should accept that. But
Right.
coming to the lifelong friendship, I can give one example. I have seen my mother and her friend. They almost talk daily to each other, but every time the call ends with a big fight. Okay, every time, every it's a daily affair, and it ends up with a fight. But next day morning again they talk to each other, and they're the ones they reach out to both the first time they face any problems. And now it's almost 70 years are over of their
Wow.
friendship, so that you can call as a lifelong friendship.
Absolutely.
That's so sweet. Yeah, that's so sweet. But that is what friendship is, right?
Yeah,
Even
I think
between
we
the
would
three of
one day
us,
see this phase in life.
I
Right.
know, we
Right.
all will. Mm.
That's
And I
so
hope we'll have each other. Even between the three of us, we have been friends for over 3 decades now. And we are still learning from each other. We don't fight, of course, but maybe when we're 70, 75, we will. But over these 3 decades, I have also had friends come and go from my life, and that's okay because I've realized I have needed those friends, or we have been friends at that stage of life, and that is when we needed each other. And now we don't. So some friendships last and some don't, and that's okay. That's the fact of life.
Hmm. One thing that bothers me a lot, is this competitive friendships. Is friendly competition a good thing, or can it get really toxic?
I think a little competition is fine, but if someone is always trying to one up you, that's exhausting for you.
Right.
Support any day is better than competition.
I agree completely.
Agree.
Healthy competition can be motivating, but friendships should never feel like rivalry, you know? All right, then next,
Absolutely.
let's talk about something that has completely changed the way we experience friendships. That is social media. So, do you guys think that it has made friendships stronger, or has it created more problems?
I feel, social media has is both a blessing and a curse when it comes to any kind of relationship, not just friendships. On one hand, it helps us stay connected, right? We are so far away from each other, but we are all connected, and it feels like there's no time has not elapsed when we talk.
Mhm.
But on the other hand, it makes some friendships, some relationships feel kind of fake. That's what I feel.
Mhm.
Sangi?
Yeah, totally. It's like just because you like someone's post or reply to their story doesn't mean you are actually maintaining the friendship. We can call them as ghost friendships, where you interact online but never actually talk in real life. But in the other hand, just a simple comment or DM can restart a conversation, and that would have been otherwise lost.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually love how social media lets us keep in touch with long distance friends. I have friends in different cities, even different countries. And without social media, I don't think I would be able to stay connected with them so easily, right?
That
That's
is
so
true.
true.
Well, I now want to bring up something my niece asked me the other day. Can a platonic friendship turn into a romantic relationship? What do you think?
Firstly, I think you should be asking your niece why she asked you that question. But coming back to it, I think it can happen, but it's quite risky. If, for example, one person has feelings and the other one doesn't, then it becomes a little weird. Even if
Mm.
both have feelings, there's still that fear. What if they start dating and that ruins the friendship if they break up? Some people don't want to take that chance. In fact, I've seen a lot of great friendships get ruined because of dating. So personally, I'm not a strong advocate of this. Although, coming back to your niece's question, on second thoughts, if both parties are willing to, they feel the same way and they're willing to take the risk, they should definitely try, because otherwise later on in life there'll be a lot of regrets.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes it may get messy also. If
Mm.
Yeah.
both parties are not at the same platform.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what
Well,
I
that
feel.
brings me to something I wanted to ask you both. How movies and TV shows shape our expectations of friendship? Do you think pop culture has given us a realistic view of friendships, or are we all secretly disappointed that our lives don't look like a sitcom?
Movies make it seem like your friends will always be available for you, waiting for you to drop by anytime. And friend groups will last forever.
Mm.
Meanwhile, in real life, you have to schedule a coffee date 2 weeks in advance because everyone is drowning in work, life, and family responsibilities. Namrata, so we have been trying to go for shopping for a long while now, but we have not been able.
Right, right. Even I think we had planned to go to another place which Madhu had visited. I forget the name, but I think we've been planning that for 2 years now, and we
Yeah.
haven't been able to fix a date. Well, movies also make it seem like you'll always have a friend group adventure, like road trips and wild nights out or deep emotional moments sitting around a campfire. But in reality, hanging out is more like, hey, let's grab dinner, complain about work, and go home early because we are very tired, right?
Exactly. Personally, I feel like I want a Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara moment where we spontaneously decide to go on a vacation or a weekend trip, and it transforms our lives forever and we are different persons from what we were before the trip. But reality, I'll tell you
Mm.
something. I have this WhatsApp group called Pune Gateway, and Pune is just 3 hours from here. We formed this group 2 years back because we wanted to go, and we have not been able to go. We meet everywhere else. We've never been to Pune. That's
But
what.
some things never work out, right?
How about a three idiots kind of friendship, Madhu?
I can imagine that. We've all been there. So, one thing I see a lot of us struggle with is making new friends as an adult. So, why is it so much harder to make a friend as an adult than when we were kids?
See, as kids, friendships happen naturally because we are surrounded by the same type of people, our school, school friends, family circle, etc. But as adults, the innocence is gone and priorities change. Everyone is busy. So that's why it becomes a little bit difficult.
Mm. And let's be real, sometimes we're just too tired to make the effort. Like making a new friend means starting from scratch, telling them your life story, figuring out if they're reliable, building that trust. That takes work. But believe me, if you're willing to put in that kind of work, you might get some truly amazing friends. Because as adults, we can see through the nonsense and straight to the person and decide if we want to have that person in our lives, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah. But at the same time, friendships are very essential in our adulthood also, especially for our mental well-being.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that all of us would agree. So what's the best way to make new friends when you don't have a school or college circle or natural meeting ground?
Honestly, for me, in the last 15 years, I have made friends only through my daughter's friend circle. We all have kids the same age, so it's very likely, very probable that we have shared interests,
Mm.
and we look after the welfare of our kids, and we all look out for each other. And these are some friends. I have made some really good friends that way.
Well, for me, it's been through music. You all know, you both know that I am a very passionate singer, and I have made a lot of new friends in Star Maker. That's an app for mainly non-professional singers that I joined during the COVID era. So we love the same things, share the same interests, mainly music, of course. And in fact, we have had annual meetup sessions multiple times. And I celebrated my birthday just a few days back, and I was really overwhelmed by so many wonderful gifts, so thoughtfully sent by them.
I can imagine, and I'm so truly happy for you, Namrata, that your vibe has attracted your tribe, but you are with people who are like-minded.
Right.
Sangeeta, tell me one thing. I mean, coming back to while Namrata was talking, I was thinking of something. How do you balance being a good friend and while also taking care of yourself? Because let's be real. Sometimes you want to be there for your friends, but we also need to set boundaries for our own well-being. So, how do you
Right.
do that?
Mm.
Absolutely. I think people sometimes confuse setting boundaries with being a bad friend, but in reality, boundaries actually help friendships last longer because they prevent resentment and burnout.
Okay.
That's
So,
I think that's
mhm.
okay.
Yeah. So, what's a boundary you've set in a friendship that has helped you, Madhu?
No, I used to have friends who'd vent to me all the time, and this was not the normal venting that I do to you guys. It's
Mm.
like every single day morning she'll call and she'll vent about something or the other, any random thing. I really wanted to be there for these friends, one particular friend especially. But
Mm-hmm.
after a while, I started feeling exhausted because that's not the way I wanted to start every single day of my life. When I
Absolutely.
have my own problems, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the joke, all she does is talk about herself, and all I want is to talk about myself. So that's what I wanted. Seriously, after
That's
a
really
while,
nice.
when I realized that those conversations were affecting me terribly, and I was
Yeah,
getting
negative.
irritated,
Mm-hmm.
cranky, and then she was not wanting solutions, I started avoiding her because I'm not. Sangeeta said we should set the boundaries. I still haven't set the boundaries. I mean, I just avoided.
Ah, right. So then let me ask you this. How do you know when you need to step back from a friendship? Because sometimes a friendship just isn't healthy anymore. It's too toxic.
Sangeeta told me something long back when I was talking to her about this friend. She said friendships are supposed to add to your life, not take away from it.
Mm.
And she was giving me the example of Karna and Duryodhan, who were maybe not everybody understands that they were good friends because they had a common goal. And you might misinterpret their friendship, but it was a great friendship. They were always there for each other,
Mm.
and both of them, that friendship added to each of them. It did not take away from their lives. So then every friendship has its ups and downs, but if the dynamic is always one sided or negative, it might be time to step back. And maybe I should take my own advice and start stepping back.
I also think a big sign is when you're not being yourself anymore. Like if you feel like you have to change your personality, hide your feelings, or constantly please them just to keep the friendship, then that's not a good situation, right? So
Yeah.
then I think we've talked about different friendship dynamics, challenges, and how to maintain strong connections. So now let's dive into something a little different. What makes a friendship unconventional? Can friends have big age gaps? Can they come from totally different backgrounds? And can your spouse be your closest friend? Madhu?
Well, thank you for bringing this up. Society has all these unspoken rules about what friendships should ideally look like. But honestly, friendships can happen anywhere and between anyone. For example, age gap, we're talking about. I don't think age gap matters at all, as long as there's mutual respect and understanding. Some
Mm.
of my closest friends are a decade older, a decade younger than me, and they bring me true joy. They truly care about me, and there's real learning and wisdom every time we chat.
Hmm. Right. I think that what matters is more than age, what matters is common ground. If you have things to talk about, similar values, or you just vibe well, age stops being a factor. So now let's talk about something people don't usually address. Can friends come from different financial backgrounds?
Yeah, in an ideal world, money wouldn't matter in friendships, but in reality, it may sometimes create awkwardness. Like if some friend can afford fancy dinners and trips, and the other can't, how do you face that? I
Hmm.
feel the problem isn't the difference in money, it's how people handle it.
Hmm.
You both know the story of Krishna and Sudama. Okay, I think in mythology, that is what they tell us how to be in our real life in different relationships. If we take example from this story of Krishna and Sudama, they were always there for each other, and there was a very big gap in their socioeconomic conditions.
I love that story. That's one of my favorite stories as well. All right, one last one, and I think we've discussed this very often, but I want this on the record now. Okay, and so can your partner, or spouse, be your best friend, or do romantic relationships and friendships need to be different?
That's really googly.
Well, Madhu, of course they can be, but I think the best relationships are built on friendship first. If you can laugh together, enjoy each other's company, and talk about anything, that's a solid foundation for a great relationship. But I think you also need friendships outside your relationship. Like your spouse can be your best friend, but they shouldn't be your only friend.
Right. That's really such a good point you made. Relying on one person for everything, emotional support, advice can put a lot of pressure on a relationship.
Mm.
Having other friendships keeps things balanced. So now let's talk about something really fun, okay? The often used phrase, दोस्ती का एक ही उसूल, तू पिटेगा पर हम हंसेंगे.
I know, I so empathize with this because this is something you guys always do with me. Every time I land up in trouble, you both will first
Common
laugh for a
Madhu,
long
you
time.
always make prank on me, so, and I enjoy that. Madhu, what is friendship without a little teasing, roasting, and friendly insults? Is someone a best friend if they have not embarrassed you in public? I don't think.
I know, I know. And I also tease you people a lot. I have these friends, I don't like them at all because they constantly make fun of my clumsiness. I keep dropping things when I'm cooking or when I'm just setting a table, and they start by removing all breakable things from around me, or they tell me to move away from that place. But they're my true friends because of their unconditional loyalty. And in case you didn't understand who those friends are, that's you too.
I got it. I got
Yeah,
it. So for me, it's stealing each other's food and acting like it's totally normal, making fun of my weaknesses, but standing by me when I have a real problem. Friends can be real rogues at times, but I can't survive
very true.
without them.
True.
Also, it's the inside jokes that never die. Like just a single word or a look, and you both burst out laughing while everyone else in the room is just confused. What happened?
Uh, all right, we discussed a lot. Now we have been talking about all the things about friendship, what makes them strong, what challenges them, and how they evolve over time. But now we have a special guest joining us, share his take on friendship.
Well, we are super excited to have Samarth with us today. Samarth graduated from BITS Pilani in 2022, after which he worked as a product manager at a fintech company in Bangalore. And after spending 2 years there, he decided to turn entrepreneur along with two of his friends, building in the creator economy space. Welcome to Life Trek, Samarth. We're so happy to have you
Thank you
here.
so much. Thank you so much, Namrata. Glad to be
So
here.
let's start with the big question. Okay, so what does friendship mean to you?
So specifically, it's very hard to define it in a very crisp manner. But I think one of the things that I've started noticing is that generally people feel when something bad happens to you and you go and talk to some people, those are your closest friends, right?
Right.
And I've started to notice that now when something good happens to you, there are some 4 or 5 people that you message the first. It's your family, and after that, it's your friend. So I feel if I have to describe what friendship means to me, it would be something which I would, if something good happens to me, I would share in a heartbeat. And obviously, when something bad happens, then they are always there. Uh, that is how I would define friendship.
That's such a great way. I never thought of it that way, actually. So then, that's a very mature way, actually. So, do you think your perspective on friendship has changed over the years?
I mean, I think when we were in college, friendship meant we didn't really pay much attention to what friendship means because everything is so chaotic, right? There are multiple groups, and even you are trying to fit in, figure out what your preferences are, what your individuality is. And there is a lot of mix and match which happens when you are in college or school specifically. Uh, but I think after graduating from college, it it is something which like you choose your own set of people depending on how comfortable you feel with them. And the pressure to be liked by everyone also goes away. I think in college a lot of fake
Hmm.
friendships occur because
Very
you are
insightful.
also yeah, you are also insecure about yourself and you're pretending a lot of the times. Uh, but I feel now I've started to realize uh, the people who I don't have to pretend with uh, is someone are people
Closest
who I
friend.
would
Hmm.
yeah who I would consider as friends.
Yeah, that's so relatable. I think we all go through that shift when we realize that not every friend is meant to stay forever, and that's okay. So let's talk about real experiences. Have you ever had a friendship that completely changed your life?
Uh, I I wouldn't say that there was one single friend that I would I would be able to name which had a great impact. It would more be a group of people or a group of friends. Uh, I remember when I went to college, before going to BITS, I remember my dad telling me that it's not important that you top in college, but it's important that you make friends for life.
Oh.
Uh,
Absolutely.
and
So true.
yeah, and that is what I've been following. And in terms of changing your life, I am someone who has always drawn inspiration and motivation from the people I am around. So I won't be able to pinpoint and say ki there is this one friend who changed my life, but in general, my peer circle resulted in probably me being uh, always inspired by them, either to do well academically or do well from a career point of view as well. Uh, So yeah,
I think that's what your dad said was so powerful and impactful. These days, people don't talk that way, right? They're like, friendship is not important, go study. You are there to study to forget about everything else. So,
yeah,
congratulations to your dad and to you for following his advice. And it's
yeah,
crazy how you make the right friends at different phases of time and they come into your lives and they go. And that's what we were discussing. So, but then we were also discussing, how friendship is not just about fun, they're about growth too. So, has a friend ever challenged you in a way that helped you grow as a person or grow academically or whatever way?
sure. So I think because of I don't know, stories or movies, generally we tend to believe that relationships, be it romantic relationship or friendly relationships, they are supposed to be effortless. They make them sound that it is something which happens very naturally. Probably you become friends very naturally, but in order to maintain friendship over a long duration of time, it does take a lot of effort. And that is something that one of my friends, when you say ki, uh, if someone has challenged you, I remember one of my friends texting me one day that they feel I am not taking enough effort to maintain the friendship. And they are always there when I need them, but probably I'm not available when they need me. And That is something when I felt like, at least till that point, I felt that friendships are effortless, but probably from that point of time, I started to realize that it does take conscious effort to maintain relationships. So yeah, I think that is one time that I can remember that I felt challenged.
Sangeeta, I can
Yeah,
see that
it's
you're eager to ask a question, but I'll just interrupt here. I think that's a very mature thought process, what your friend said
yeah,
and the way he
absolutely.
spoke.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
takes a lot of maturity to be open with each other and to accept that feedback and criticism.
yeah. I think I also I kind of I would have rejected it in college, but no, when I actually introspected about it, it did make sense.
More matured.
Uh, yeah.
Sangeeta, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted I just wanted to tell him that it's very insightful, and those are the best kinds of friendships, the ones that push us to be better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Um, yeah. And what is the biggest challenge till now you have faced in a friendship?
Uh, like I mentioned before, I feel generally in school, college, it wasn't a lot of effort to maintain friendships. Once career starts, you start working, then there is not a lot of idle time. So while people expect like matching schedules, probably uh, trying to stay in touch with people who you deeply care about and people who care about you
Yeah.
uh, is extremely challenging. Another thing that I realized uh, when we are doing really well in life, we sacrifice the time with people who we care about
Right.
or who care about us. And when shit hits the roof, then you go back looking for those people.
Hmm.
So so now I've started to kind of make it a point that uh, it needs to be much more balanced. And even when things are going well, uh, when work is going well, you should not sacrifice time with your friends.
Yeah. This has been such an insightful conversation till now. So before
Thank you.
we wrap up, what's that
Yeah.
one piece of advice you'd give to people about friendship?
Hmm. Don't look at it in a transactional way initially, I believe, because a lot of people, because friendship is something which evolves with time, right? And we see a lot of people who make friendships depending upon what will I get out of it,
Hmm.
uh, and that particular mindset. Uh, so I think not getting into a transactional mindset while making friends uh, is something which is important because those are the best friends that you would make.
That's such a great message, Sarthak. Thank you for the honesty.
Thank you.
Now it's time for a rapid fire round. Answer with the
Okay.
first thing that comes to your mind. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
So here we go. One word to describe your best friend.
Caring. I'm sorry, it's slightly boring, but yeah, that is the first
That's
word
okay.
that comes to my mind.
The most embarrassing thing you've ever done for a friend.
Embarrassing thing I have ever done for a friend. From what I remember, uh, a friend had to pee really bad, and we were on a bus, and it was a school trip. So I had to essentially go and ask the teacher and or the driver to stop the bus so that they could pee, and everyone was laughing behind. That is what to my mind.
That's so
Uh,
real.
Okay.
Hmm.
A friend who always gets you into trouble.
a friend who always gets me into trouble. Can I say I'm the one who gets other people in trouble?
Oh, that's
I can
I,
believe that.
That's nice.
I would
Very nice of you
be
to own up.
that. I would be that friend.
Okay, then yeah, a quality that makes someone a great friend.
Accommodating, compromising, having a compromising attitude, or uh, being accommodative. Yeah.
Absolutely. What's more important to you, a best friend or a partner? If
A
you have to
best friend.
choose,
Okay. It's very hard to choose this way, honestly.
let's assume you're not married, you are looking to get married, you have a girlfriend. Your girlfriend doesn't like your best friend. Who will you choose?
See, the most ideal scenario is that you marry your best friend, right? That is, uh,
Well
that
said,
is,
well said.
that will solve the problem. But I think partner, if hell comes to shove, then I feel partner probably. Because I'm looking at because a partner is a friend for life is how I'm seeing it as well. So it's not,
that's great. That's
It's
great.
great.
Yeah.
yeah.
Have you ever fake laughed at your friend's joke?
No, not really. I
Mm.
hadn't had to do that. Because I told you I don't pretend generally. So yeah, I haven't faked loud specifically.
So, name a movie that best represents friendship.
Oh, there are multiple movies. There is I think Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara is one. Dil Chahta Hai is a classic. Uh, yeah, these two. These
Absolutely.
two.
We spoke about Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara earlier.
Yeah.
So my
Uh,
questions are all
it's
about
a movie for
choices.
the ages. It's a movie for the ages.
Yeah. So my question again is about one more choice. Would you rather have
Sure.
one true friend or 100 interesting acquaintances?
Hmm. I think one true friend. Matlab, I've come to realize that that matters a lot more than just knowing some people or having acquaintances. Yeah.
Okay. So that was fun. Any final words on friendship before we wrap up?
Mm, not. I think one thing which I would like to mention is a lot of my point of view on friendship and in general how I look at friends comes from my parents, and I've seen how close they are to their college friends. Even you guys, it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring and at the same time hard to believe that friendships can be maintained for a span of 20, 25, 30 years, which is
Yes, Sarthak, I would just like to tell you, add here, that we have been friends for more than 3 decades now.
yeah,
And
oh
yeah,
my
and
God.
Sangeeta was talking about her mom, who has friends who've been friends for 70 years.
Yeah, yeah, that is very hard for and mind-boggling for us to imagine also because now I'm struggling to maintain five, six good friends. But I think one thing that keeps me going or these values uh, is the fact that I see all around that people have been successful in maintaining friendships for so long and the dividends that it also gives later on in the life.
True.
So yeah, I think that is all. I hope that I'm capable enough to maintain friendships for that long. Uh,
Absolutely. I think you have your heart in the right place, you have the right values. So
yes,
should be easy for you.
yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed. That is it.
This has been an amazing conversation. Friendship is truly one of the most valuable things in life.
And I would like to see whether you've had the same best friend for years or just made a new one yesterday. What matters is the connection you have with each other and the effort you put in.
Hmm.
As you said,
Uh,
Sarthak, it's never effortless.
Thank you, Samarth, for being with us. That was a really lovely conversation that we had with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for having
Thank
me.
And
Thank you,
Saman,
Samad.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'm sorry I called you Sarthak a few times because I met your brother and he's Sarthak.
No
So it's
issues, no
okay.
issues. We are twins, that it does happen
Yeah, and
sometimes.
it was lovely meeting you.
It was really
Yep,
lovely.
likewise.
Nice getting an insight from the younger generation.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for
So this has been an amazing conversation. Friendship is truly one of the most valuable things in life.
And we learned today, I mean, from Samarth also, that whether you've had the same best friend for years or you just made a new one yesterday, what matters is the connection you have with each other and the effort you put in for each other.
Yeah, it's absolutely essential to have friends, and I cherish the deep friendship and thankful to God for having some best of friends around me.
So before we go, we challenge our listeners, do something today to appreciate a friend. Send a message, plan a meetup, or just let them know they matter. All right, that's it for today's episode of Life Trek. दोस्ती एक छोटी सी बात है, पर इसमें पूरी दुनिया बसी है। कभी सुबह की पहली रोशनी जैसी, कभी शाम की ठंडी हवा जैसी। एक हंसने की वजह है, एक आंसुओं का
Wow,
सहारा भी। दोस्ती कोई शब्द नहीं जो सिर्फ जुबान से लिखा जाए, ये एक एहसास है जो दिल के कोने में महफूज रखा जाए।
Wow,
lovely.
And that
that's
brings us
lovely.
to the end of this episode of Life Trek. We've shared stories, perspectives, and a few laughs along the way. But most importantly, we've celebrated the essence of friendship, its joys, its challenges, and the beautiful bonds that make life richer. We'll be back soon with another exciting episode, another meaningful conversation. Until then, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep trekking through life together. See you next time. But before signing
Bye.
off, dear audience, please use the comment section to tag a friend and tell them why they mean so much to you. Drop a hashtag in the comments if you have the best friends ever. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.
Uh,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.